My ex-wife filed for divorce after 20 years over a sandwich. It still feels surreal as I type this. We were married for 2 decades. Through the highs and lows, I thought we were pretty solid. And then came the sandwich incident. Let me rewind a bit. My now ex-wife had always been passionate about food, and honestly, I love that about her. She wasn't a chef, but she had an eye for detail and an incredible palate. So, when she asked me one day to make her my special sandwich, an inside joke from our early dating years, I decided to surprise her. I went all out. Fresh bakery bread, turkey, lettuce, tomato, her favorite mustard, and cheese toasted just right. I put my heart into it. When I presented it to her, she took one bite, looked at me, and then she sighed. "You always put mustard on too thick," she said, then tossed it on the counter. It was like something snapped. She walked into the other room and sat in silence for hours. I checked on her, trying to get her to talk, but she brushed me off. And then, that evening, she broke down in tears. She said something that shocked me. "I feel like you don't see me. Like we're just here, going through the motions, and it's like I'm living with a stranger." I tried to listen. "Really?" I asked her to explain, but she just shook her head. And 2 days later, she handed me divorce papers. I was blindsided. We had our arguments like any couple, but nothing that felt this big. The sandwich thing seemed like it had triggered something much deeper, but I couldn't fully understand it. After a few weeks of barely speaking, she opened up in a rare, raw conversation. She said that for years, she felt unseen in little ways that stacked up. The mustard, believe it or not, was symbolic. She felt that even when she communicated something small, like how she liked her food, I hadn't really listened, and it made her feel invisible. She started to bring up other things, small moments I overlooked. Her hints about traveling together that I brushed off because of work, how I'd zone out when she talked about things she was passionate about. It was then I realized this wasn't really about a sandwich. It was 1,000 tiny sandwiches, all adding up. The paperwork went through last month. I moved out, found my own place, and honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything. The quiet realization is that this whole thing could have been prevented if I just paid attention. So yeah, lesson learned. Sometimes it really is the small